Hey everyone, welcome back to We Are Chattin, your Penn State Brandywine podcast. We have a very special episode for you today. We're your hosts, Ava Clements
and Natalie DeMario.
And today we are chatting with Bill Tyson and Christina Billy, the two people behind the magic who make it all possible.
Bill and Christina lead the Strategic Communications Department at Penn State Brandywine, where they manage all marketing and communications efforts for the campus.
Bill and Christina, welcome to We Are Chattin.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome on. We're excited.
Yeah, we're super excited. So
I'm so stoked. This is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And usually Christina's behind the camera, but today she's in front of the camera.
This is very strange for me, but it's okay.
We'll get there. You'll get used to it.
It'll be great.
It's
I'm
fun.
so stoked. It's going to be so fun.
All right, let's dive right in. So can you each share what led you to Penn State Brandywine?
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Feel free.
Yeah, so I started out at Penn State Brandywine in 2022, October 10th, 2022, to be a little bit more specific. So that's the year I graduated from college. I went to Temple University. And right out of college, I started working at a public relations firm in Center City, and we didn't really mesh. But luckily, when I was looking for jobs, Bill actually reached out to me on LinkedIn, letting me know that this job was available, and I applied, and I'm here now 3.5 years later.
Wow. It's all meant to be.
Yes. Yeah, so LinkedIn is very important when it comes to making connections and your involvement and everything.
Yeah, we're big fans of LinkedIn over here.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Great. And I started first as an adjunct instructor for a few years before working here full-time. And if I recall, I think I had a friend who was teaching here and maybe introduced me. Dr. Susan Fredericks was my supervisor back then. So I taught here for a few years in the evening and stepped away from that for a little bit. And then I came here in 2013. The full-time job for Director of Strategic Communications was open. And I think I saw the posting, but I also had a friend on the advisory board who called and suggested that I might put my name in, and I did, and here I am.
Wow.
Here you are.
Almost 13 years later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. So what kind of initially interested you in the field of, strategic communications, marketing, stuff like that?
Yeah, so for me, I grew up in the 2010s, and social media was just starting. I got on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter in 2012. I got on Snapchat in 2013, got on TikTok around the time it started to take off and be really popular. So I grew up with social media, and when I realized that doing social media could be a career, I was like, I need to major in that when I'm in college. So public relations, you could really go anywhere with that, and social media is also a huge part of PR and marketing the company out there and everything. So that's what originally led me to the field.
Okay. Bill?
Awesome.
Great. Yeah, I had sort of a random start when I was in 8th grade.
Oh.
We were assigned homeroom by your last name. It was alphabetical. And my homeroom teacher, whose name was Mrs. Jones, and that really was her name. I'm not just saying that.
Shout out.
Not just saying that to protect her identity. It really was Mrs. Jones. And she said, does anybody want to work on the school newspaper? Because she was the advisor. And I said, I might try that. So I became editor. It was a junior high back then. It's now middle school. But I became editor of the junior high newspaper. And then when I got to high school, became editor of the high school paper. College, became editor of the college paper. Back then, the Philadelphia Inquirer was doing a lot more in the suburbs. And I worked part-time for the Philadelphia Inquirer for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
And then sort of started getting involved in some local politics, which didn't mesh too well with the newspaper writing. So then kind of transitioned more into public relations. So I've always wondered, if I did not have Mrs. Jones, would I have still ended up on the same path, or would I be doing something completely different? And of course, I'll never know the answer. But
Yeah. I mean, she could have walked in and said, hey, does anyone want to help me with this science project? And
Exactly.
then could have been a scientist.
Bill the
Exactly.
biologist.
I mean, yeah.
Come on now. Well, thank you to Miss Jones.
Yes. We
Really
appreciate you.
molded quite the PR guy over here.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, so I'm sure it's slightly different for each of you, but can you run us through what the day-to-day responsibilities look like working in this department?
Yeah, so for me, a lot of my day consists of scheduling things for social media, especially this time of year. I take pictures at the vast majority of campus events, and so my day consists of sorting through. I usually take at least 1,000 pictures at all these events, so I'm sorting through those pictures editing the ones that I see are the best ones and then scheduling them to post on social media. I also interview a lot of students for more recently Road to Commencement stories, but also for Student Spotlight. I also interview faculty for any work they're doing or staff for any work they're doing as well. I also do a lot of the back end for the website. More recently, I've been doing the commencement page, so I'll be working through edits that come through our email for the form for that. And I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. I think that's what my day can usually consists of. It's a lot. But then some parts, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays when you're both in, my day consists of filming TikToks. And that is such a fun part of the job. And then also, of course, editing the podcast.
Yeah,
for sure.
I guess so for people who don't know, you do all the behind the scenes with all of Penn State Brandywine's social medias.
Yes.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the face behind the
It's
social
me.
media.
It's Christina.
And how about you, Bill?
Well, I do most of the social media and photography. No, I don't.
He does everything Christina does.
Trying to steal credit.
But she lets me do a little bit of the social media. I do most of the photography for our athletic program, which is kind of interesting because I've never been an athlete. I'm not even a big sports fan, but I've enjoyed getting to know because there is a sports information director, but he's tied up during the game, so I do a lot of photography. So I've enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed getting to know a lot of the student athletes. But besides that, I do a lot of the community relations work for the campus. I work a lot with the chancellor, with local government officials or community groups and how the campus might interact with them. Work a lot with the chancellor on communications campus-wide, along with University Park. So at the campus level, the communications department reports to the chancellor. We don't report to University Park, but there is a communications department at University Park, and we work very closely with them on issues that impact kind of the university as a whole. So I also manage some of our news releases that we send out to local press. So it's a combination of a lot of different things, being involved on some campus events. So and then I work closely with admissions on some of the admissions marketing, and we tie into University Park. So I kind of put it in kind of three buckets, kind of the part that I call more communications. And a lot of that is with people who are already connected to the campus, and then kind of marketing the campus to prospective students and their families, and then sort of the community relations piece and how the campus is interacting with the neighborhoods around us.
That's interesting how you kind of break it up into three different parts. I never really thought about it that way.
And they do tie together, but they're also kind of unique in their own way.
Yeah. I mean, comms people, marketing people, they do a lot of just a bunch of different things, and it's really an interesting field. It really is.
Well, it's interesting at the university level where they have a much larger department. They might have 3 people just doing social media, and they have one or 2 people who are just photographers, and some people are just news. But here at the campus level, where we have a relatively small department, we're doing a little bit of almost everything.
And what's really cool too is University Park holds a social media office hours once a month, and we kind of just get to meet all the people who do social media across the entire state. So it's people who are at all the campuses. So you'll have like Abington, Harrisburg, York, Scranton, Greater Allegheny, all those campuses, plus the people who do for all the different colleges at University Park. So the College of Education shows up for whoever does their social media, or Belisario, the communication school. So it's just all these communication professionals who do mostly social media across the university level. And that's a really cool thing because you get to hear what other campuses are doing for their social media, and especially in the summer when there's a lot of downtime, you get a lot of ideas for what to post on socials as well.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay connected, among all the campuses at Penn State. So it's great. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
So, one of the newest additions to Brandywine is this podcast, We Are Chattin, which is run by you guys in strategic communications. How does it act as a tool and, further the mission of the campus?
Yeah, so as we discussed too when we were working on whether or not to create a podcast, a lot of young people prefer to hear their news instead of reading it, especially with attention spans being so small nowadays. So getting this audio version of what's happening and spreading the news of Brandywine, I feel is really important for prospective students to know about there's this college in the area and there's so much cool stuff happening there. But then also for current students, like, this is what the campus has to offer.
Yep.
So it's marketing not only to prospectives, but also to current students.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good way to connect as well, which I know you touched on a little bit, just the shorter attention span.
Yeah.
But it also, I feel like, makes us feel more relatable to the students on campus and prospective students, too. Everyone's listening to a podcast nowadays, so why not?
Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a great way to highlight so many of the accomplishments of current students, alumni, faculty, staff, friends of the campus. So there are a lot of stories to tell here, and the more ways we can tell them and share them, the better it is for our campus community.
Yeah, and it's also a great way to give you both experience, too, because you could be doing this after you graduate, and also you're applying what you learned in the classroom, because I know you have to do a lot of podcasts for your classes. So you're applying what you learned in the classroom to real-world experience. So this is great, too, for that.
And I think what's so cool about it is, we read things online, and, having this as an outlet to kind of give people a voice and, a face to their name, it's, I don't know, I just think it's an extra bonus in a way,
It's like a personality piece as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
It brings stories to life.
It does.
In a way that a written story doesn't necessarily.
Yeah. That doesn't always, Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, moving on. Are there any new initiatives that either of you are working on that you would like to share with the audience?
Well, as you mentioned, the podcast is probably the newest.
Yeah.
Just always looking for ways that we can expand what we're doing, particularly on the marketing side, working out with admissions on what are there new channels, are there new ways, new methods to reach potential students, prospective students. And it's a constant, as I mentioned, we're a fairly small department, so you're constantly looking at how are we using our resources, and is it better to shift time and attention from one to another? So I don't know if there's any big new initiatives, but I think it's just a constant adjustment of all the methods that we're using.
Right.
Yeah, I think something new that we've been doing this year, in addition to the podcast, well, aside from the podcast, is doing paid social media. And that's something that we really, University Park sometimes does it for us, but this is really the first time, at least for me, that we've been able to do it on our own. And so we've been putting out paid social media ads to promote people to apply to Penn State Brandywine. And so, saying there's still time to apply, so I put 2 graphics out on Instagram and Facebook. So
yeah, it's a great way to kind of target prospective students, through that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So to kind of shift gears a bit, Bill, under your leadership, Brandywine's Strategic Communications Department has earned, prestigious awards from the Public Relations Society of America and College and University Public Relations Association of Pennsylvania. What do you think were the key factors in achieving, that level of success?
Well, we've received some of those awards, particularly for our 50th anniversary, which was almost 10 years ago, because our 60th is coming up in 2027. So 2017 was our 50th anniversary. Yeah. And, I led a group on campus to kind of plan how we would celebrate. And we really I think the most important part was we started off by saying, what are we trying to accomplish in terms of what are the goals? Is it to increase awareness, to bring maybe people who have graduated and families who have had students who graduated, bring them back to the campus. So what are we trying to accomplish? And then once we kind of had that outline, we had basically from January to September of that year, a series of events leading up to the anniversary in September. So we started off with roller skating in the gym, because the original campus was in Chester underneath the roller skating rink while the main building at our current campus was being constructed. So there were no buildings on this campus when Penn State acquired the property. So we looked at a lot of ways to kind of get people involved, make it fun. So we had a kind of a petting zoo on campus one day, because this property was
that's cool. Great.
That's so
farm,
cool.
and we had some cows and I don't know if we had pigs and rabbits, because this property was a farm back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So we did, for Women's History Month, we had kind of young women alumni. For Black History Month, we had some former students who are Black who came back, who graduated in the late 60s to talk about that transition. So just a lot of fun events leading up to a more concentrated effort in September leading up to the actual anniversary. So we were able to submit some nominations for some of these kind of professional associations and got some recognition. And I think the whole series of events really brought a lot of people back to campus. It was a lot of fun. We also opened the residence hall, and it was a little bit of coincidence that the residence hall opened right during that anniversary period, but it did, and the student union building. So they were incorporated. The big celebration and the ribbon cuttings were all kind of incorporated as part of that. So it was a pretty intense 9-month period, but it was, I think, a great time for the campus. A lot of good, press coverage and publicity, and a lot of kind of renewing connections that maybe some folks had with us that maybe hadn't been back for a few years, and it was a chance to bring them back. So all of that together. But I think the most important part was starting out with some idea of what we wanted to accomplish, not just kind of running off and doing this and that and hoping it all adds up, but kind of really thinking through that whole 9-month period and when we wanted things to happen, who we wanted to invite, and what we wanted to come out of that. So
for sure.
So it was great to get some recognition for all the effort that went into that.
I was going to say, I'm glad that your hard work was kind of recognized there.
Yeah, and also, all the events, they have a meeting, connect to the bigger picture, which I also think is very important, and another thing that does deserve recognition. So that's awesome.
And going into the 60th, we have some big shoes to fill.
I know.
Got to make some big plans for that.
Really do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history here, a lot of good history, and a lot of good people who have come through our campus over time.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, to switch gears again, for our current students eager to break into the field, what are important skills you need to be successful in this type of role?
Yeah, I think writing is a huge one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, when you're in communications, whether it be PR, advertising, journalism, media relations, whatever it is, writing is your main component. And I think being a strong writer, making sure that you're a strong proofreader as well, those are very important skills to have. Also, being creative is a very strong tool to have, because if you work in communications and if you work in-house rather than in an agency, you're going to be wearing a lot of hats, and one of those hats might be making social media posts, whether that's coming up with ideas for a TikTok or an Instagram reel, or it's creating graphics for those paid ads, or for just like a holiday coming up, or to promote an event that's happening on campus. So I think those are some really important skills. Also communicating with other people, like verbally communicating with other people.
Yep.
It's another very important skill to have if you want to succeed.
Sense of like interpersonal communication.
Exactly. Yeah, being personable with other people is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if I had to pick just one, it would be writing, because almost everything we do, whether it's 1 or 2 sentences on an Instagram post, or it's an email to someone, or it's a news story, it almost all is based on being able to capture your thoughts and your message. And it somewhat depends on your job. So in our department, we have someone who does a lot of graphic design and web management. Writing is not as key in that. And as we mentioned earlier, we have taken on many other aspects, whether it's photography or graphics or that sort of thing, that aren't necessarily writing. But I think in general, for someone who's looking at a position in communications or public relations, I think the ability to write and be able to take your thoughts and put them, whether it's on paper or on a screen or however you're capturing it, is critical. And once you have kind of mastered that or have a good foundation on that, there's a lot of different directions you can go, a lot of different fields you can go. But I think that's pretty much a core.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, we focus heavily on that in all of our classes, our comm classes, marketing classes, stuff like that. It's the foundation. I think it takes you far. Yeah.
And to kind of touch on what you said, Bill, is it really is in everywhere, even if it's just a small, like one sentence as a caption for something. But, that is all important, because you're with each platform and with each writing piece, you're catering to a different audience. So I think having the ability to understand, okay, I need to talk in this tone or get this message across depending on the platform, is also very important.
Yep, totally agree. So last question here for you guys. What is your favorite part about working for Penn State Brandywine Strategic Communications?
I think my favorite part is getting to work with Ava and Natalie and getting to work with Bill and getting to work with Tony and getting to work with everybody in the Chancellor Suite and getting to work with everybody on campus. It's just an absolute joy, especially to watch how much you two have grown over the past year that we've had you on our team. It's been amazing. And I also love making silly TikToks.
Oh yeah.
It's
We
fun.
live for it. We really do. We really do.
Yeah, the fact that I get paid to make TikToks is one of my favorite things in the whole world. But I just love working with the team that I'm a part of.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great community. I mean,
really
it makes working 10 times better.
It definitely does. I always look forward to noon on Monday through Thursday and 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays for when you both come in.
It's good stuff.
It's great stuff. Yeah.
And I would say, for me, I think working with the students has been the best part, as I've been here heading on 13 years. And there's a lot of aspects that are enjoyable, but the students, the energy you get from the students, watching students kind of progress through their academic careers, and the time, 13, I've been here almost 13 years. That's not a long time in the scheme of life, but it's funny. I'll talk to a student or somebody will come back and I'll ask, remind me when you graduated, and it was 10 years ago. And that's, I just have a hard time getting my arms around that. But you're working with students, watching the students grow and mature, and all the things they've accomplished and do accomplish, that's the most enjoyable part. And that's why, we're still busy in the summers. We don't have as many students on campus, but that's a tough part of summer is we know we have new student orientation, so we're meeting incoming students, and that's great also. But it's the tough part about the summer is we don't have the students here, and you don't have that energy and as many of the events. But as I mentioned, I go to a lot of the athletic events, and even though I'm not an athlete myself, it's been fun to watch their progression too, and how the teams have evolved over time, and the coaching, and some of the coaches are. The baseball coach is an alum. The volleyball coach is an alum.
Softball coach. One of our softball coaches. Yeah.
So it's great seeing them come back and progress as well. Yeah. So that's in general the student involvement and watching the students. And I keep in touch with a fair number. We had a marketing communications program last week, and two of the panelists were alums that I had worked with when they were here, and it's great to keep those connections and see how they're, watching them on LinkedIn or whatever the platform is, and kind of see how they're progressing. That's kind of
for
an
sure.
enjoyable part of it.
Yeah, and one thing too is that I started in fall of 22, and this year's graduating class also started here in fall of 22. So the people who are first-year students, a lot of them are graduating this spring. So it's crazy that I've seen them start here as first-year students, and now they're graduating. Some of them have found jobs.
It's your first,
going into the real world. It's my first full class. And it's just crazy to see how much they've all grown since meeting them as freshmen.
And Bill, I want to add, you said earlier you're not a sports fan. I'd argue you're one of our biggest sports fans here on campus.
Well, here on campus.
Yeah.
When it comes
you're dedicated to the Brandywine sports.
Not as much.
Yeah.
I do enjoy watching some curling.
Okay.
And I was just at a racing museum out near the Hershey, Carlisle area out that way.
All right.
So I'll take things in. But and I know this will be blasphemy to you, Natalie, in particular, but if I never went to another Phillies game, I can't say this on there, can I? If I never went to another Phillies game, I think I'd be okay.
All right, let's shut this down.
I went to a Phillies game one time with the Philadelphia chapter of the Public Relations Society had an event, and we got there maybe an hour and a half early, and they showed you the press, where they do the news conferences and the press, and kind of a tour of that. Then we had some refreshments, and then we went to the game. So I did all of that. Second inning, I said, I think I'm going to beat the traffic and head home. So second inning, I was out.
Do you happen to remember if they won that game?
I don't.
But Bill, the second inning.
All
right.
So professional sports is not for Bill.
You know what, though? I was watching the Phillies game last night, and I checked out in the third inning. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So these errors.
For those who are listening, the game was on April 15th, and the Phillies lost a lot.
Yeah, I was actually there.
So bad. Ava was there last night.
What was the final score, Ava?
9-1. Great view. And that's about all I can say about that game.
Sorry to the Phillies.
But I think what I enjoy more about the athletics on the campus level, I don't know every athlete, but I know a lot of them, and you kind of get, even if I don't know them personally, you kind of get to know them, and it's just a different relationship. First, it's free, that doesn't hurt, but you're closer to the action, But just getting, knowing the players and kind of seeing them evolve and how the teams have evolved, and again, knowing some of the coaches who are students here, it's a much more personal experience than you're going to get at a professional.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. If you've made it this far and you're listening, visit Bill Tyson's office for free tickets to any sports game on campus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll get you in any event.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Completely free.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, guys, let's move into a segment that we like to call Rapid Chattin', where we challenge you with some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I hope so.
I'm not ready, but go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Question 1. TikTok or Instagram Reels?
TikTok.
Well, I have to say, I had a TikTok account, and I couldn't remember the password, so I got a new account.
Okay.
Yeah, because one of our students was doing some TikToks for us, and I was going to follow. I don't know the password of that either. So definitely Instagram.
Okay, so by default, Instagram Reels.
Instagram Reels.
With all your
Until I
videos.
create another TikTok.
Yes. All right, question 2. What is one conspiracy theory that you believe in?
I don't think this is controversial to say on the podcast. That people cause traffic on purpose. Like cops will swerve in front of traffic in order to stop it, and traffic gets stopped on purpose.
I think I've heard that one before.
I've seen videos of it online, and I'm like, traffic is stopped on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Like when you're on the highway and like the cop is like in front of a whole line of cars and
They're swerving.
Like, yeah, just slow up the traffic.
Yeah, so traffic is caused on purpose.
Okay.
Unless it's an accident.
Yeah. We're going to do research on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to let Ava lead that and see what happens.
That's a new conspiracy theory for me, so I'm going to dive in.
Yes.
Well, that sounds preposterous to me, but I don't have one specific. I would say there's a lot of government-related things that I think there's probably more truth to than we want to admit.
Okay.
I don't know if I can think of one specific one, but I think there's a lot of things, particularly at the federal level, not so much the state or local, but I think there's a lot of things that happen that maybe it's better that we don't know the truth on some of it, but I think there's a lot of things that there's probably some truth.
Yeah.
Some things are left better unsaid.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. What is one completely useless fact that you know for no reason?
I actually learned this on TikTok the other day.
Okay.
So Jupiter on its north pole has a hexagon-shaped storm. And the eye of that storm is the same size as the United States.
What?
Maybe a little bit bigger than the United States. But I saw the continental United States was on top of the eye. And it was like just a tad bit smaller, like the lower 48.
So essentially, if we had that storm in the United States, the entire United States would be
covered.
I think the entire Earth might be feeling that storm.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a big hexagon at the North Pole of Jupiter. I learned that on TikTok.
Thank you, TikTok.
Yeah. Little hack. Every once in a while, there's a little.
Interesting.
Every once in a while, go to the STEM page on TikTok. So you'll see it has like for you, shop, followers. Go to the STEM page because that's where I learned this.
Wow,
from.
you actually are one of like 5 people that use the STEM page.
Yeah, there's this guy on TikTok who makes astronomy videos, but he talks like they're gossip videos.
Oh,
and it makes it so engaging to learn about astronomy that way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes you like watch astronomy videos to like fall asleep.
Right.
But he makes it so engaging. And he talked about it like it was gossip.
You'll have to send me that page.
Oh,
later.
I will. Yeah. Or like he talks
that.
about Pluto, like Pluto's like all the rage with the latest gossip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pluto.
Okay, Pluto.
Well, that all sounds preposterous to me.
Oh my God.
The word of the day is
Here
preposterous.
I don't know if I
Yep.
mentioned it. I have a terrible memory for things like trivia or jokes or things, but I think this is true. What's the question? Useless trivia?
What's one completely useless fact that you know for no reason?
I believe that President Lincoln's secretary was named Kennedy, and President Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln.
No way.
Oh,
Wait, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Yes.
cool.
We'll have to verify that, but I believe that.
Fact
I believe
check.
that to be true.
Producer,
it's a
oh wait, no,
useless
she's over
fact,
here.
but
Never
it's
mind.
cool.
If it's true, I will put it up here. So
Yeah.
if it's true, you'll say it. If it's not, you'll still say it. I'll let
You'll
you know.
find out, guys.
For our visual listeners,
Yeah.
you'll say
Watchers, as we could call them.
Watchers.
that too. Yeah, watchers.
Watchers.
Yeah.
Better vocab term
Viewers.
there.
Yeah.
Viewers. Okay. All right, question 4. One we like to ask everybody. If you were stranded on a desert island, what celebrity would you call for help?
I'll let Bill go first on this one.
Okay.
Well, I think she would be helpful, and it could be dead or alive, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dead or alive. Yep.
I'm a big fan of Margaret Thatcher.
Oh.
Do you know who Margaret Thatcher is?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I've watched The Crown every
Say,
season.
is she an actress?
No.
Oh my God,
She
Ava.
was the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Can we cut that out?
No, that's staying. That is staying in,
That's staying.
Christina.
Okay.
So she was the Prime Minister of Great Britain for 12 years, and
I was good. That was my next guess, by the way.
she
Yeah.
was called the Iron Lady. So she was tough and kind of grew up in moderate background, but rose to the top to lead Great Britain. And I've always been a fan. She's passed away, unfortunately, since then, but she was in The Crown, the TV series we were talking about. Toward the end of The Crown, she had some appearances. I don't know if she was a big fan of the Queen of England, but she suffered through it. And,
Yeah.
12 years was a pretty long run.
I would say, 12
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, for me, this was really hard for me because
Okay.
I wanted to choose someone who hasn't been taken yet. And unfortunately, as we all know, I'm a Swiftie and Taylor Swift was already taken by somebody this semester.
Yeah.
So not Taylor Swift. Love her though.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
Shout out
If
Taylor
you're
Swift if you're listening. Love you. Anyways, I think, could it be a fictional person?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
I would gladly have Hermione Granger come and save me from that island.
Oh, Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Potter?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recently got into Harry Potter, just recently watched all the movies, and I think
Ooh.
Hermione Granger, girl boss that she is,
Yeah.
can use one of her spells because she reads all her books and get me off that island.
Interesting.
Honestly,
I have to
yeah.
do some research on that. I have to start watching because I've
I
never
know.
seen
Yeah.
any of the Harry Potters or
We should
read
have
any of
a
the
Harry
books.
Potter movie.
No, we should.
Marathon.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Set that
it's
up.
really good. It's long because the movies are long. The first one's the
Okay.
shortest one,
All right.
but yes.
Bill, did you see Harry Potter or read it?
No.
Okay.
You
should.
could name almost any movie, and I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yes. Now, I wanted to mention, Margaret Thatcher may not have a line of overpriced sweaters, but she was like another
Shout out to
celebrity.
Taylor
But she's still pretty cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. We can get you a custom Margaret Thatcher sweater.
Sweater.
I'm sure we
Cardigan.
can make that happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah, we do have a cricket in the launchbox makerspace.
Oh, we're so making one.
That we can use. We can get a cardigan and then use the cricket
No doubt.
to make
Nice.
a Margaret Thatcher cardigan for you, Bill.
Yep.
Nice.
It's
Can't
coming.
wait.
We're gonna do that.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. Final rapid fire question. What is your favorite event on campus to attend?
I'd have to say Big Beast Blowout is
Okay.
probably my favorite. They have food trucks there, and as a Temple alum, when they bring the crepe truck, I go crazy because I loved
Yeah.
the crepe truck. When I was at Temple, I would get a crepe with Nutella and strawberries and bananas and blueberries, and it was so good. And they have the crepe truck here usually. I don't want to spread fake news in case they don't have it this year, but the crepe truck is glorious, and I love when it's here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
so
gonna
Big Beast
ask.
Blowout
I was
also-
gonna ask.
yeah. So
Sweet or
also-
savory? Yeah.
Yes, sweet.
So, okay.
I have had savory, and I'm not a fan, but the sweet is
All
really
right.
good. And also, occasionally, Bill will ride the mechanical bull or mechanical shark, and I think it's a very great watch.
That's something I
Not
need
for
to see.
long.
Okay.
I mean, I don't stay on very long.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't go on it for very long, but as someone who takes pictures, it's a great photo to get.
Yeah. Everyone come out and
you-
watch.
You only
Yes.
you only have about 1/10 of a second to get that photo.
Yeah,
And might I add, she got a great shot.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, yes.
Yes. I'd say I have kind of two categories. One,
Okay.
I kind of mentioned the athletics. I enjoy a lot of the athletic events and getting to know the students. And it's interesting because we had our men's basketball team made the playoffs, and the gym was, I mean, I don't know that they could fit anybody else in the gym. It was packed, both with our fans and some from the opponent. So it's, I keep saying I need to build a VIP box in the gym, which of course would be for me.
Yep.
So
You and you only.
That's on that's in my plans. But I think
VIP.
The sports events are just a great way to see a lot of alumni come back, former players, former
Yeah.
parents of former players come back, current students. But the other thing that I've really learned a lot from is the various multicultural kinds of events that we have. And we were just at Bengali New Year last week. And I've learned a lot about different cultures that I really had not been exposed to growing up in Delaware County since I've been here. And I really enjoyed getting to know the students who are either from other countries or maybe they're second generation. And some of the events that we've had here celebrating various holidays or traditions that I really have gained a lot of insight.
Yeah.
Those are definitely standout events for me. I love just being able to see everyone's different cultures and their, their different things that they got going on. So it's fun stuff to learn about.
Yeah, Lunar New Year is also a really cool event to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get to learn a lot about the different countries that celebrate Lunar New Year, and then also they have usually the food that goes with the country.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That you're learning about in these multicultural events. So like at Lunar New Year, Margaret Quo's catered that event, and that was really good. But at like Bengali New Year or at any other multicultural event, especially the ones with the Bengali and the Indian culture, I just love going to those events because I love Bengali and Indian food so much. It's so good. That's actually how I was exposed to Indian food for the first time, is having it
through
here.
our events.
Yeah, because they get it
no
catered.
way. That's
and
so cool.
It's so good, and now I get Indian food a lot.
Yeah.
And
Now
it's
you
so
found
good.
your new thing thanks to Brandywine events.
Yes,
right?
thanks to Penn State Brandywine.
Which is, really cool to just note that, Penn State Brandywine is really, really
Committed.
Yes.
You're
We said
committed.
That Penn State Brandywine is really committed to celebrating and exploring the different cultures of all of our multicultural students on campus. So
Yeah, we are the second most diverse Penn State campus. So
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, Christine and Bill, thank you for coming on the podcast today. That's all we have time for. But, we loved hearing your perspective on, working in the office, and believe it'll give some of our listeners some great insight. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us
us.
on.
Thank you.
It's fun to be on this side of the camera.
I know. We're
and
happy
not
to
on
have
that
you
side
on
of the
this
camera.
side.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. And now you're back to that side. So enjoy
Next
all
week,
of us.
next week you're back. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. We are done chatting for today. This podcast was recorded in the Penn State Brandywine Makerspace Media Production Studio. We Are Chattin' was made possible by Penn State Brandywine Strategic Communications and the Brandywine Launchbox. Remember to like this podcast and stream it on wherever you get your podcasts.